I'm just glad this is the last video I have to make about this season, to be honest. It's over. I don't know what to say, really, to be honest. I don't really know what to say to you. I must have repeated myself so many times this season, just saying the same thing over and over and over again. I must have been so boring to watch this year, and I do apologise for that, but I think I'm left in the same feeling and the same boat as every other Charlton fan, feeling rather disgusted, disgraced and embarrassed. 13th we finished this year. 13th. And I told you, what did I say in my video last year? What do I expect from Charlton when we were in the shit just as Shamgar took over? It takes us 3 attempts to get out of League One. Next year's the 3rd year. In the previous 2 stints, at some point, we have finished 13th. Look what's happened again. History repeats itself. 13th. Each stint is the exact same. We get playoffs or just miss out. 13th place, promotion. So by that sort of logic, next year's our year. Nah. It won't. Not right now, with the way this club is going and the direction this club is heading in and the system that we currently have. I mean, this year was supposed to be our year, according to our owner. I'll refer to that infamous quote now. We're going to blow it out of the division this year. He even said it last season, to be fair. And look at where we've ended up. 13th. 13th with 59 points and a -4 goal difference. The team under Carl Robinson and Russell Slade in 2016-17 did better than this squad. Tells you what you really need to know, doesn't it? This is the worst Charlton squad we've seen in memory for at least a few years, or maybe ever. And you can't hide away from the truth. You can't. The bread is in the pudding. The league table doesn't lie. We deserve to be in that position, and we're very lucky that we're not even lower. I guess that's one thing we can thank Johnny Jackson for this year. But I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed by this season, and I'm even embarrassed to call myself a Charlton fan after this season. I'm disgusted by what I've seen this season, by what I've paid to see. After what was expected of us, after what was promised from us at the start of the season. Yeah, we're going to blow it out of the division this year. And I can't stop thinking about the tweet from the Wigan owner or chairman yesterday. Because look at them. Look at the difference between us and Wigan. Last season, Sandgard takes us over. Yeah, we were close to administration. Wigan were in administration. Wigan looked fucked. And then these lot come in, Phoenix 2021 or whatever they're called. I think it's something to do with Phoenix. I don't know. I don't care. They had to fill their academy team last season. Barely survived, which is full credit to Liam Richardson. The owners come in, back the manager, they invest in the team, and look at where they are now. Champions of League One, playing Championship football next season. And honestly, congratulations to Wigan, because that's how it's supposed to be done. And I can't stop thinking about the quote that their chairman put up yesterday. Never promise what you can't deliver, but always deliver more than you can promise. Actions speak louder than words. Never have I ever heard a more truer quote than that. And something that our owner, I think, needs to take on board, because that's exactly how it needs to be done. Both of us, Wigan and Charlton, were taken over in very similar stages in the season. Wigan in a far worse position than us. Look at the difference. Wigan owner doesn't really big himself up massively. He just does the talking with his money. He has action. He delivers. Invests properly, and they win the league. Our owner, we're going to blow it out of the division. Look at us, we're going to win the league. Fuck off. Where do I start with this season? Honestly, where do I even start? It was supposed to be so much better than this. You know, it was, you know, Nigel Adkins at the start of the season, you know, looked a lot better under what we were doing under Bowyer when he came in. You know, there was a bit of optimism. The salary caps are gone, no restrictions. Sandgaard can invest. He did do that. He did invest. Just didn't invest in the right areas. The recruitment in both transfer windows, the summer and January, were an absolute disaster. Adkins saying, I want my squad ready for pre-season. First pre-season friendly against Celtic, we brought 3 players in the door. A month later, our first game in League One against Sheffield Wednesday, only 2 more joined us. We finished the transfer window with no left-back. We signed a free agent left-back, Pape Soare. What a bit of business that was. Fucking hell. We were too picky. We were too patient. You know, we didn't really show how serious we were. On paper, it looked like we'd done really well with some of the players we signed, but they turned out to be an absolute disaster. Nigel Adkins completely inept. I'm not surprised. I feel like with that appointment, we literally just signed the best available option to us on paper at the time. Because if you look on paper, Adkins, fantastic track record with the youth academy. Brilliant. We got one of the best academies in the country. We'll see youth players develop and get some more football. And obviously he knows how to get out of this league. Got Scunthorpe promoted back in the day. What he done with Southampton was brilliant. Although his time at Reading was a bit, because they got relegated, he still did a fairly good job. And also steadied Hull City to a mid-table position before he left. He'd been out of a job ever since. How do you go 14 games into a league season and win only twice? Constantly rotating the team, changing formation, changing the starting 11, not knowing what his best system or what his best team is. Blaming Stockley for the long ball, even though you're the manager and you've got to work around that. Not favouring George Dobson. How? How did he not rate him, honestly? Adkins gets the chop, Jackson comes in, and we have a honeymoon period. Brilliant. We looked fucking fantastic. You know, he took a side that looked dead and buried. That looked completely dead and buried, you know, fighting a relegation battle, which is embarrassing to even say and look back on. We come out the blocks firing, and it looks like, hello, if we keep going this way, we could actually make a challenge for the playoffs. Fans call for him to get the job, myself included, because I felt he showed that he was capable. Gets the job full time, and we plummet. Exactly the same than what we saw under Nigel Adkins. Our form just dips, and I don't know how we do it. January transfer window. We need to strengthen the team. Bring back Chuks and Ike. And Ike scolded by most of the Charlton fans when he came back. A lot of people still don't understand why we signed him. For me, 4 goals in 9 appearances. Says it all, really. Chuks is a proven scorer at this level. Niall John and Juan Castillo, the most pointless signings this club has made in a very long time. And then Scott Fraser. Comes to the club, contracts COVID, asthma problem, knee injury. And we can make up all the excuses we want. You know, Jaden Stockley and Jackson coming out recently, you know, while we had injuries at key times. We can't use that as an excuse. The players just, they just weren't good enough this season at all. The club weren't good enough. And injuries is another thing, you know. It's been something plaguing this club for years. And I don't know why we've not sorted it out. Literally, players come to this club that have never been injured before in their career. They come back, they come here, they're out for like 4 or 5 months. Take Sam Lavelle, for example. Never injured in his career. Comes to Charlton, 2 long-term injuries. How does that happen? First one's a knee injury, and then against Wimbledon, he dislocates his shoulder. What is going on? But it's just like, honestly, this season has just been a shambles from start to finish. And yesterday's performance, I didn't watch the game, and I'm glad I didn't. You know, I didn't really see the point in watching 2 mid-table League One sides who have both underachieved this season. Ipswich and Charlton. 2 sides that were expected to do wonders this season, both underachieve. I didn't fancy watching that because neither team had anything to play for. But that performance yesterday sums up our season in a nutshell. How can you go to Portman Road and lose 4-0 on the final day? Second time we've lost 4-0 this season, Oxford at home being the first. How do you do that? And it sums up our season in a nutshell. second best, and the group of players that we have are not good enough, rarely fit, or most of the season just look like they don't care. That's why I'm so disgusted by this season and what was expected of us. Like, Sandgaard can just do all the bigging up he wants. He can say all he wants to say. But for me, he's all mouth. I think he's all mouth. All talk, no action. He invests in the team. We were the third biggest spenders in the league, apparently. But he don't know how to spend his money. He doesn't have a clue. Doesn't know what he's doing. Like I said in the previous video, in the Charlton are a fucking mess video, I said he's inexperienced. He's the CEO, based in America most of the time. He has the final say when it comes to transfers. No fucking wonder our recruitment was so bad. We need somebody that's going to be there full time to run the club, like Wigan. Their chairman is there all the time. We need someone to be there running the club 24/7. You know, we need to give the backroom staff, besides Sandgaard and his son, more of a say when it comes to building their team. He's all mouth. He's all ego. That's all I see from Sandgaard. That is genuinely all I see from him. And, like, the writing's on the wall. 13th in League One. Our worst season in a very long time. Maybe ever. It's the most amount of defeats we have ever had in a single season in League One. 21 defeats. Like, that is our worst season. And you say you've got this, like, 5-year plan, like, oh, we're going to get to the Premier League. 3 years into your ownership, we're still in the third tier. To reach your plan, we have to do a Southampton, back-to-back promotions. And that's not going to happen, is it? I just want to see this club have a bit of ambition, you know, a bit of fight. Because we're not showing that at the moment. And I said it on Twitter. We need a 2011-12 style rebuild. And I'm going to reference this, right? The year before we won the league in 2011-12, 2010-11, we finished 13th with 59 points and a -4 goal difference. That summer, under Chris Powell, he signs 23 new players. That season, we win the league title, lose 5 games all season, 101 points, break the League One points record. No club has ever broken that record before. Fast forward to this season, we finish 13th with 59 points and a -4 goal difference. The exact same as that season. And like I referenced to what I said at the start of the video, it takes us 3 attempts to get out of League One usually. Every single stint has been the exact same. Playoffs or just miss out on it. 13th, then promotion. Will lightning strike twice or 3 times, in fact? At this point, probably not. Because I'm not confident or inspired by what's going on at this club right now. I said it on Twitter. We need that similar style rebuild to 2011-12. Full clean out. We've got 17 players out of contract. 6 loans, 11 players out of contract. Genuinely, I'd keep only about 2 or 3 of them. And even then, those players I'd keep only as squad players. All 6 loans I'd let go. Fanwo probably being the only exception. Potentially. I'm a bit 50-50 with Fanwo, but considering we've got the option to make it a permanent, I think we're going to sign permanent. I think we're going to sign Fanwo permanently. As for the other out of contracts, most of them can go. Even the injury-prone ones. I'm sick and tired of players being constantly injury-prone. We need to move past that. We need to move away from that. We've got 12 players under contract next season, not including youth players. I've not included Maynard Brewer in that list. But we'll get on to him in a minute. Of those 12 contracted players, there's only a select few I'd keep. I'd sell most of them, to be honest. We need to be brutal in the summer. And I thought this season was going to be the final season we're going to rebuild the squad. But now we've got to do it again. This team from 2015 to 16 onwards has been unrecognisable. Have a look. Look at our team over the course of all the seasons. Completely unrecognisable every time. And I'm sick of it. But another rebuild is required. And we need to show how serious we are. Because let's not sugarcoat it, we're one of the biggest clubs in this league. We should be fighting for the top 6. That's why I predicted us to finish in the top 6 this year. Because I thought, it's all fine and dandy at the start of the season. You know, we got an owner that seemingly backs the club, you know, and he seems ambitious, you know. We got a manager at the time, Nigel Adkins, who was doing well. You know, I felt on paper we built a very good team. How wrong was I? Got it completely wrong. Everything about this club, shambles. The players, the management, the formation, the tactics, the recruitment, and to a certain extent, even the ownership. Everything is a shambles right now. And I want to see this club have a bit of ambition and a bit of fight. Let's be brutal. Let's rebuild this team, proper reset, and let's go again. Show how serious we really are about going up. Because if we don't, we risk another season like this, or even worse. And I'm sick to death of the comments that Johnny Jackson and that come out and say. You know, even Stephen Stockley said it. You know, in his interview after before the Ipswich game, they're saying like, "Oh, we got a good core of players that are going to come back." No, we don't. If this is a good core of players, if these core of players that have just finished 13th in League One, the worst season this club has had at this level, if they're a good core of players, God help us next season. Honestly, God help us. And I genuinely think that's what's going to happen. I honestly do think that's what's going to happen. We're just going to bring back most of these players next season, barely strengthening the team. That's what I think. That's how uninspired and unconfident I am in this club right now. And it's a disgrace. The recruitment needs sorting out, man. We need to go in early, like Jackson says he wants to. We need to go in early. Suss out who wants to go. I'm more excited by who leaves the club rather than who comes in. But in terms of bringing in players, we need to go in early. Like we failed to do last season. We were too patient, too picky. We need to go straight in. Sign the best free agents available if possible. Bring in like the up-and-coming talents and best players from League 2, League 1, maybe even the Championship. And maybe, just maybe, loan in some Premier League players if they're actually going to play. How many Premier League players have we brought in recent years and not played? Both Matt Smiths from City and Arsenal. And then this year, Noel John and Juan Castillo. Noel John, supposedly one of the most up-and-coming youngsters in England right now, doesn't play a single minute for us. What's the point? We may as well just give our youngsters a go. We've got one of the best academies in the country. Give them a shot. We've got to at least be knocking on the door or at least having a look at these youth players next season. I'm looking at the likes of Aaron Henry, Deji Alarouay. He won the League One Apprentice of the Year, for fuck's sake. Let's have a look at him. Dylan Gavin smashed it at Billericay on loan this year. Daniel Carnu, 40 goals in a season. Ashley Maynard-Brewer. If we rate him this highly, give him a go next season. He's got to at least be competing for McGillivray to be starting keeper next year. Maybe even number one, if we rate him that highly. And in terms of Johnny Jackson, I'm not inspired. I'm sorry. I love the guy and I would love it for it to be him to lead us forward. But I'm not convinced by him as a manager. I'm sorry. He had a great honeymoon period. But he just does not look like he can motivate a team. You know, to me, he just seems a bit like Bowyer 2.0. You know, the players gave me everything. You know what I mean? Doesn't look like he can motivate a team. Sticks with 5 at the back. No plan B. No sort of desire to change it. And he comes out in the post-match interview, you know, saying that, oh, I'm going to play football my way. And it's been proven that what I'm doing is right. And it's working. Really? Oh, yeah, it's working. Playing wingers as wing-backs. It doesn't work. And if that is the system that we're going to play next season, at least put the pieces of the puzzle in the right fucking slot. Play players in the right position. Play Corey Blackett-Taylor as a natural winger as opposed to a wing-back. Because he's been one of our most influential players this season. He can't defend. And I've got nothing against Blackett-Taylor, but he can't defend. That's not his position. If you're going to play 5 at the back, at least play natural fucking wing-backs. Not Matthews, who's been skinned countless amount of times in that position. Not Blackett-Taylor, not Jai Simi, not Charlie Kirk, if he comes back from Blackpool. I'll be very stunned if he's our player next season. I'm just disgusted by this season and the way this club has gone. You know, we have been overpromised and under-delivered. And I just feel like our fans have been treated for mugs. Our support this season has been second to none. Unbelievable. The best thing about this club this season. And how are the most loyal of us being rewarded, those season ticket holders? You know, after the whole Feel the Valley campaign and how shambolically that was executed. With a more expensive season ticket after the early bird prices disappear. Oh, thank you very much. As much as I'll talk myself out of getting a season ticket next season, I probably will get one. But I'm just not inspired by the way this club's going. The fans deserve better. I feel sorry for the 1,800 that travelled up to Portman Road yesterday and watched us get a fucking eyed in by Ipswich 4-0. Disgraceful. The players got exactly what they deserve when they walked off that pitch, booed. And a fucking lot of them need to have a good look at themselves and say, do I really deserve to be here? Because I genuinely hope most of those players take off this proud Charlton shirt and never wear it again. Hard reset, hard rebuild. We need a 2011-12 style rebuild. Start again. A part of me wants to say give Johnny Jackson a go. Let's give him a shot. You could make the argument he inherited Nigel Adkins' team. Let's see what he can do then. Let's see what sort of team he can build. Let's see what system he can bring in. But the truth is, he and his backroom staff, Jason Yule included, they're on thin ice. Simple as that. They're on thin ice. And it needs to be sussed out. We need to get our act together, man, because next season is going to be a very long season. Same as this one if we don't sort ourselves out. And that's all I need to say, really. Just been completely ranting and raving once again for the final time this season, thank God. But it needs to be said, I'm afraid. Everything about this club is completely wrong and we need to rethink and sort ourselves out. Sandgard, you invested in the team, but you spent money in the wrong areas. It's your job to fix it. Over to you. Let's see how serious you really are. Let's see if you really want to get this club promoted and you really want this. Because if you don't, I mean, if we're nowhere near this position, then I don't think you will have a fan that supports you. Simple as, really. These players are a disgrace. Get them all gone. Most of them gone anyway. There's only a select few I'd keep. Jackson's on thin ice, but I do want to see what he can do in the summer. I am intrigued. But the formation's got to go. 5 at the back's got to go. Tactics have got to go. If you are going to play 5 at the back, put players in the right position. Simple as, really. Recruitment. Fucking sort yourselves out. Be brutal. Be early. Sort yourselves out. Bring in these players that are hungry, that actually want to be here, and show a little bit of quality and a bit of effort. Because these lot don't give a shit that we have right now. And I'm glad most of them are going. And I really do hope most of them are going. But honestly, with the way this club's going, I think we're going to have a lot of these players still here next year. I'm not inspired. I'm not inspired or convinced, but it is up to these people at the top of this club to sort it out. And that is all I'm going to say. Thank you all very much for watching the videos over the course of this season. It's been a very long and emotional, stressful journey. I do apologise for the videos not being as upbeat, but hopefully next season will be a little bit different. You know, fingers crossed. It takes us 3 years to get out of League One usually. Next year's the 3rd year. And like I've mentioned a couple of times in this video, each stint has been the exact same. We just miss out on promotion via the playoffs. We finish 13th just like this year. The 3rd year is our year. So history says. 2011-12 smashed the League One apart. 2018-19 promoted via the playoffs. Will Lightning strike a 3rd time? At this point in time, no. But it's up to these lot to prove me wrong. We're one of the biggest clubs in this league. We should be fighting for top 6. We deserve better. Us fans deserve better. We've been treated for mugs this year. Final message to Sandgard and Jackson. Sort it out. Get your act together. Show how serious you really are. Show how much you really do care. And that you want to get this club promoted. And that's all I've got to say. Rant over. Final rant over for the season. This has been Tyler Edison. Have a nice day and I'll see you all later. See you in the next video. See you in 2022-23. And I'm fucking glad this shit show of a season has been curtailed. Take it easy. Stay safe. See you all later.